Hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome to the Oracle of Light channel. First of all, welcome to all my new subscribers, and of course, welcome to my lovely viewers for coming back and watching these videos. I do really appreciate it. Before we begin, though, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe below. It really does mean a lot to me. It really, really does. Don't forget as well, today's show is for entertainment purposes only, as we're all very aware of. So, today's show. So, let me just go into today's show. Today's show, we've been made aware that a source has made it aware apparently that Felon 45 may be trying to get the UK to drop their hate crime laws for the trade deal to be successful. Now, if this is the case, it's going to be very, very damaging for the UK. We actually saw this reported in the Independent and also via Jesse Dollemore from the Dollemore Daily. There will be a link in the description to the Dollemore Daily, so look out for that. I want to actually go in detail with you because I've got this article here. So this article said that it's in the Independent here. Starmer told UK must repeal hate speech laws to protect LGBT plus people or lose the Trump trade deal. And to me, if you're going to be, what on earth hate speech laws have to do with a trade deal is the first thing we need to be saying here. What on earth has that got to do with it? It's, it's got absolutely nothing other than almost wanting to rot a country from within, because why would you want to promote hate speech? Hate speech is what it says on the tin. It's hateful, and we've got enough going on in the world without any more. And it would be a huge step backwards. Apparently, the source said Keir Starmer must embrace Donald Trump's agenda by repealing hate speech laws in order to get a trade deal over the line. A Washington source has told the Independent. So to me, it's like, well, where do you want that line to be? I would like that line to be somewhere where respect is and respect and good behavior and respect to one another, respecting individuality is promoted. And I would hope that Starmer just dismisses that out of everything. That shouldn't ever be included in a trade deal. A trade deal should have nothing to do with policies within a country. Trade is to do with the cost of goods and how much you're paying and how much you're not. It shouldn't be reliable on the laws of that country. Of course, we all know Felon 45 has a wish to be a dictator, and I do believe he wants to be the dictator of the world, and this is a classic example of him trying to be a dictator of the world here. But in light of this, I've obviously tried to raise its agenda, and obviously we are based in the UK, so this does have an effect on us. But in fact, everything going on in America also has an effect on us because it ripples out like a wave. And so this is why it's important to stand up for diversity, to stand up for being who you are, to shining your light and everything like that. Anyway, I heard this and both me and my husband could not believe what we were hearing. It's like, are you kidding? What has this on earth got to do with trade? And why would you promote hate? So anyway, thought, well, you know what? We need to ask the cards on this too as well. That was another thing that went in my mind. It's like, you know what? We need to ask the cards about this, and so we're going to be asking the tarot cards and the oracle cards about this. Now, the question we're going to be asking today is, if the demands from Felon 45 are true, will the UK Prime Minister bow down to these requests? I say, let's ask the energy of the cards and see what they say today. Because don't forget, I'm always reading the energy of the cards at this moment. Things can always change, and things sometimes change, sometimes they don't. But with always that freedom of choice, remember, we don't know what else is going on that might change situations too. Okay, remember, that's also important to remember. And of course, we know for entertainment purposes only, of course, too. So this is our question. I'm going to get the cosmic tarot cards out. I do hope you're enjoying the channel, everyone. So trying to grow it and get it out there. So do tell people about the channel and let them know about it. Okay, so I'm just shuffling the cards. So, if the demands from Felon 45 are true, will the UK Prime Minister bow down to these requests? So this is very much about the UK Prime Minister here. Will he bow down to those requests? That's what I want to know. I would hope that he wouldn't. I would certainly hope that I would hope that no prime ministers would bow to such requests. To be honest, this isn't directed even at a party. This is directed. You wouldn't expect any prime minister to bow down to such requests. Actually, regardless of the party that they're from. Because Felon 45 is essentially asking him to promote hate speech. Essentially, if this is true, you know, which is not good. So we're going to draw the cards. What I'm going to do, I'm going to draw 5 cards, 1 central one and 4 around the edge of it. So to see what it says. So I'll just take this off while I draw the cards. Our beautiful table. I'm just going to divide the pack. Okay. So in the center, death, 8 of Pentacles, justice, 8 of Wands. Okay. An interesting reading. So I actually feel it might fall through the deal, is what I feel in this case. So the reason why, let me go back to the question. If the demands of Felon 45 are true, will the UK Prime Minister bow down to these requests? I feel this is a no. I feel like, because we're starting off with the death card in the center. So the death card is often linked to a new beginning, but upside down, it's almost like the beginning of the end almost. So it suggests that this, whatever deal included those terms about the hate speech, suggests that it might be that actually brings it to a close or something like this. Definitely, the death card is a new beginning, but upside down, it's almost the end of. So it suggests that the deal is not going to go through, because the end of that one. There may be another deal that is brought to the table, don't forget, but the deal particularly working along the lines of this hate, which I'm pleased to see in a way. I'm pleased to see, because I would hope no prime minister would go ahead with this. The death card upside down. I feel this card, we've had this card out before, funnily enough, and I feel that this represents the Felon 45, which is across the water from the central card, if you like. And with it being like across the water, could suggest this is Felon 45. The upside down bit was upside down this, and that to me is to almost talk about the demonic personality of Felon 45, if you like. Like he wants to take over the whole world. If you imagine that circle as that being the world, and you can see that pentacle is almost spread out and covered the whole world. That's what he wants to do, you know. But he wants to cover it with negativity, and you see that's negativity is represented by the pentacle upside down, in reference to satanic, obviously, because this way up it's Wiccan, and that way up it represents satanic. Okay, if you believe in the devil, I don't. If you believe in Satan and all that, and I don't, but it is representative of that. Okay. Now the bottom card in this reading here is the Magician upside down, and this also I feel is, see, this is telling us a lot about what our Prime Minister is up against. Okay, against what Felon 45 stands for. Yeah, exactly. It's justice, but upside down, and this is what Felon 45 stands for. Injustices. He stands for injustices and things being upside down and being almost like he won't take things, he will steal things, if you like. That's his way of doing it. Okay. The right thing to get things, the way to get things in life is to save up for them and to buy them. The wrong way to get things into life is just to steal them and take them, you know. And that's very much it's imbalanced as well. You see, the justice is all about balance as well. well, with the card being upside down, it's unbalanced. Felon 45 is unbalanced. How we can ever negotiate with someone like that? I'd question whether it's even possible, to be honest, whether negotiation is even possible. And this is why I think it's very much about, it feels like the way to move ahead with things like that is to almost put him out the picture. Excuse me, my apologies. Yeah, the way to deal with that is to put him out the picture. Be strong in our own. This is where the connections to Europe can come in as a strength, you see. The Eight of Wands is certainly don't rush things. Do not rush things. The Eight of Wands, I feel like there is going to be more options available because you can see the different ones. But I feel like if you rush things, like that person is rushing ahead, then what they're going to do, they're going to rush so far ahead that they're going to make the wrong decisions, okay? So don't rush, don't make the wrong decisions. Make sure you have the confidence to refuse deals almost that aren't right, and hold on to the importance of legislation like the hate crime laws and stuff like that. They are important, for many, many number of reasons, not just for the communities that those laws are there for, but also for the country as a whole, And the Prince of Wands, I feel that this is who Felon believes he is. I think Felon 45 believes he's this young, strong person who likes to think of himself as looking as really courageous and look at me, aren't I great? When in fact he's upside down. He's a complete, like, what would you call it? When opposite really of what he believes he is, He's the emperor with no clothes, That's really what this is about, The Prince of Wands. The wands connecting to the magic, and the tricky side of things, the conning side of things, if you like, the very tricky and slippery side of things, trickery kind of things, really significant, yeah. So let's have a look at the Oracle of the Light. I'm now going to get an Oracle of the Light card as well from the Oracle of the Light deck. Let's see what these say. Okay, so this is a deck that me and Francesco have designed. It's actually a very accurate deck. It works very well. We found it always gives us our answers what we need. Okay, so the question then, if the demands from Felon 45 are true, will the UK Prime Minister bow down to these requests? Okay, so let's see what the card is. Unwritten story. So I feel he won't bow down to the requests. I feel he's almost going to say, because this is all about the pages being blank. So this is about going, no, let's go back to the drawing board. We're not gonna bow down. I think this is definitely the UK is going to be stepping into its power. What this shows is, I feel this reading is a sense of the UK stepping into its power and almost like separating itself from America in that sense and strengthening itself, not being afraid to write its own story. Maybe America might not be in that story, who knows? Also, a sense of, no, we're not going to get rid of these laws. Actually, we're not going to rub them out. We want a new deal on the table. We're gonna get rid of that. We're not going to listen to that request of you wanting to get into our laws of our country, because really, when you're doing trade deals, they have laws that have nothing to do with the laws of the country you're dealing with. And why you would ever want to get rid of laws that stop harm to people, it really has no bearing on anything really. So let's just look at the cards. So there's all the cards, everyone. Of course, you got the death card underneath. It was a central one there, and the Oracle of the Light card there. So let's look back just to summarize very quickly for you. So if the demands of Felon 45 are true, will the UK Prime Minister bow down to these requests? Let's assess the energy of the cards and see what they say. So death card upside down is almost like the ending of something, rather than, because the death is connected to often new beginnings, but that's actually an ending of something, which suggests the deal is going to go down. A new deal might come up, don't forget, remember. And the reason why it's going to go down is because we have Felon 45 with his big agenda of wanting to almost like take over the world, and the Magician. So justice upside down, which is Felon 45 stands for injustices, and he wants this deal to bring about injustice in the UK, and that's ridiculous and terrible. And upside down, literally, the Eight of Wands is more for our Prime Minister to say, just slow down with things, be more confident, we can do this. Don't let him bully you into one place, don't let him rush you, take time to look at different options. And the Prince of Wands is who the Felon 45 is, upside down, cowardly, and a big coward and bully. And then we finish with the unwritten story, with a sense of like, turn that page over. We're not going to listen to that page. We want a new deal almost. So it's very much getting the energy of the cards at the moment on right now. I say definitely saying to me that that this deal isn't going to go through like this. That aspect of it is either going to be dropped or changed, or a new deal is going to be put on the table, you know. So yeah, really, really interesting. I do hope you enjoyed the video. I just thought I'd do this quick video about the specific question, because as I saw, me and my husband saw it last night and we were like, we couldn't believe it. It was just like, this cannot be happening. And this is why we say, like, this is important to speak up with things like this, you know, and because if you don't speak, you don't know whether there'll be anyone there to speak up for you when you need them there. Okay. So listen, everyone, take care. Hope you all had a lovely Easter weekend and everything. And with lots of love and light from the Oracle of the Light, I will see you all really, really soon. Take care, everyone, and goodbye.